Alright, in the next, however long this video is going to be, I'm going to show you the exact framework that I use for my service-based business clients in order to build out a AI email autoresponder system for them. So in this video, we're going to be patching your holes in your inbox. I'm going to go ahead and explain why being first is actually better than being good. And I'll show you a quick run through of how the system works. And also, I'll give you action steps in order to get started with the system as soon as possible. Now, the good news is I've done all the work for you. I've templated everything into a make.com file below. And you can pick up your file and follow along in this video if you like. It's completely for free. So when it comes to emails and queries and people reaching out to your business in order to work with you, these are like the top sort of pain points that the owners that I've spoken to have expressed. So either you're getting too many tickets, the queries are often repetitive, so you're just stuck there answering the same questions over and over again. You're actually getting poor qualified leads, which means that people don't actually convert. Like most of the people that reach out to you, they don't actually end up being buyers at the end of the day. And in general, you just have a lacking inbox coverage, which means some days you might be on your email, you might be active answering to questions, but on other days, there might be like days where you completely forget. So let's actually analyze what happens when you don't contact or when you don't follow up with your prospects immediately. So you go from uncontacted prospects to the prospects missing you completely, and that obviously leads to missed revenue. So it compounds over time and turns into this downward spiral that no business owner, quite frankly, wants to be in. The amount of time that it takes to reach back out to a prospect after they've shown interest is around 47 hours. That's almost 2 days, basically. And actually, only 7% of businesses have a lead response time of 5 minutes or less. But what we're actually going to do using AI systems that I implement is to get this lead response time down to 90 seconds. And I'll explain why 90 seconds in a minute. And these businesses are basically what I like to call AI automated businesses. So there's a very, very small percentage of those as of now. And in the future, we're going to see more and more comprehensive systems that ensure that these businesses are always in the top 1% of their space. So that is basically our target lead response time. Now, here's an example that I've seen many times over again, which is we've got two companies. The one has average lead response time, which is the one that we've seen, so 48 hours, roughly around a day or two. And if we took 10 of their ideal customers, how would that look like? So their traffic may be coming from Facebook ads, if you're doing Google ads, any sort of paid advertising that you're running online. They might have just found your website from SEO or browsing, or they might have just been referred to your business based on word of mouth. Now, the astonishing thing is that 75% of those people actually go for the business that reached back out to them first, and not specifically the one that had the best website design or the one that offered the best service. It's actually the one that they were reached out to first, simply because they felt that they could trust them more. They basically felt taken care of from the very first touch point. And obviously, I don't have to say that the conversion rate on those 75% is going to be a lot higher than usual. In fact, the likeliness to buy actually goes up by 390%. So with an AI system, you're more likely to not only attract clients, but then also convert on them. But what does all this data actually tell us? Well, it tells us two very simple things. The first one is that the leads have a small window before they actually turn cold and they never contact your business again, and they just go to your competitors. And most of them don't even convert because, well, they're being left on red for a day or two. So what this means in short is that if you have faster lead response times, it automatically equates to more deals closed and more revenue for you. And I hope I've made it clear how important it is to optimize for these performance indicators at this point. Now, the system I'm about to show you actually has 4 very simple steps. The first one is email trigger, then it generates a response based on the AI. Then there's a smart delay, and I'll explain why in just a second. And fourth and lastly, we have the extraction and sending procedure. So now the trigger actually monitors the inbox for new lead notifications and then captures the sender information and the content of the inquiry. So whatever question they may have, if they have a comment or if they have like some sort of feedback, it captures all that. And then based on that, it generates a response. It extracts the key details and then generates a personalized professional response using the examples that you provided. So you can actually control the prompt, you can control the outputs that the AI provides. Now, this smart delay is very crucial. And we do this for 2 reasons. There's a very high chance that you're probably going to land in the spam inbox. Not only will this delay help you not get ignored by your recipient, and it will make the prospect feel that there is an actual human sitting behind all this. And then the AI extracts the prospect's emails from the inquiry and then actually sends off the email and stores all the data in a folder so you can analyze and go through the data in your own time. Now, if you've already downloaded the template, you'll see something like this, and it's very simple. It's just 5 make modules, and I'll actually hop into my main account to show you how to set everything up. So we have our first module, which is the Gmail module. If you're using another, by the way, this works for any sort of email service. If you're using a different one, for example, Outlook, all you do is you go into add a new module, and you go Outlook, and you would press on watch message. And this basically does the same thing as this, which is every 15 minutes, it looks out for a new email. And then it goes ahead and writes the customized reply. So you can see that the prompt looks something like this. You're currently monitoring a sales email inbox for high ticket coaching offer. This is just an example. And then you have the role prompt, which is basically an example of what would come in and the ideal reply of the assistant. Next, we move on to extracting the email address. So some people actually have their signature with their email address, their phone number, and also if they have a business registered business address, that also is included in the signature. We want to be able to extract all that information. So let's say out of this entire message, the assistant would extract only the necessary email. Then we wait for 90 seconds. This is the delay tool that we've used. And also we go and send off the email at the end. So the recipient address is actually the message content from the second OpenAI module, which is the extract email address module. And I'm not sure if you can see this because of my camera, but the content type is from the first module. But yeah, that's pretty much it from the setup side. This is what an output would look like. So you can see that the first line is actually personalized. So it says, "Hey, Chris," instead of having like, "Oh, hey, oh, dear prospect," or something like that. And you can see that it also mentions specific interests that the recipient has sent out in the first place. So in this case, it says, "I appreciate your enthusiasm to get started ASAP. We're all ready to receive you on our end." And another thing that's cool is it sets the next steps out very clearly. And also you have to realize that the recipient actually gets their reply after 90 seconds. So it is very concise, it is very to the point, but that's exactly what will allow you to retain your customers and allow you to sort of build that initial touch point with them to sell them later down the line. And you'll see this especially if you are dealing with a high number of leads, so a higher lead volume. The next thing is that you can finally be assured that you have 24/7 inbox coverage. So you don't need to constantly have your emails open and stress about missing leads ever again. And the cool thing is this is all AI dependent. So it can handle anywhere from 1 lead a day to 10,000 leads a day. And this will scale with you. So if you decide to run ads tomorrow, or if you decide to, if you just manage to double your lead flow, let's say in 24 hours, this system will keep up with you and there's no need to go out and hire people. This is a fully scalable system that can basically do that at zero extra effort. So this will really allow you to focus on the sort of high leverage tasks that you've been meaning to do, but you couldn't because you always had these emails to reply to. So if you haven't already, you can pick up the template below. And if you have any questions regarding implementation or any sort of like questions that you may have about AI systems or automations in general, there will be a link below to book in a call with me. This is a one-on-one Zoom call, and I can take a look at where it would be appropriate to have these AI systems and AI infrastructure in place. Also because this email automation is actually a very small portion of what I do for my clients in general. And if you want a more advanced breakdown into AI lead assets in general, I've left the video for you to watch right after this one. And at this point, I would like to thank you for your time on this video, and I'll speak to you soon.